and I'll never back down. In the middle of the ring is where I lay the smack down. Against all odds, I will always prevail. So when you step to me, it's like hell in a cell.
Yo, alright guys, Delzinski here and welcome to another We Talk. It is indeed We Talk Wednesday and I'm joined as always by the one and only professor in professional wrestling. It is Weeds.
You alright, mate? You having a good day? Sounds like you've got yourself a brand new hashtag there with We Talk Wednesdays. It's been quite an interesting week for you, haven't it? You've even got the official Bagwell stamp of approval. Bagwell approved from Mr. Marcus Alexander Bagwell, didn't you?
Yes, indeed. If you haven't seen my antics on Twitter, well, I tweeted Buff Bagwell a video, my Canadian Destroyer remake in WWE 2K15. I sent it to him probably over about a week ago, and today I actually got a response from Buff Bagwell giving me the thumbs up, a good job, and that is most definitely Bagwell approved. So it's now official that Delzinski's Vintage Shizzle channel is indeed Bagwell approved, and so is We Talk, because obviously it is the sponsor of the show.
It's a place to be, isn't it? So, what have you got for us today?
Well, today we have got WWE 2K15. We're talking that because the epic Sting trailer was on display on Monday Night Raw and it was pretty damn awesome. So you can't really not talk about that. We have to cover it in this show. And as well, we've got a very special Raw Roundup from yourself, the Professor.
You sound like you're going to set me some kind of time challenge to do this in.
Well, I was thinking possibly we'll cover that after we finish talking WWE 2K15. I think we'll save that up.
I feel like I'm being set up here.
Possibly. Well, it's if you're willing to accept the challenge.
This sounds like some kind of trial. Does my job depend on this? Will I be replaced? Is Bagwell in the studio?
Well, you might be. Might not be. But it all depends if you're up for the challenge, Weeds. I mean, if you're not, just go ahead and say and just disappoint the masses.
I will. I may even go and do some kind of a weird duck impression to introduce a Sting trailer. And if you haven't checked it out, there is an epic review from Delzinski in regards to that Sting trailer on his channel. But yeah, we'll see what it is, and I'll give it a go.
Good. I'm glad you will. And in reference to the duck noises, that was a fantastic rendition of the Sting theme song. We'll leave a link to that in the description box as well. Because if you want to check out how to do the Sting theme song, watch that video. The intro is phenomenal.
It sounds like Donald Duck is being molested.
No, it doesn't. Anyway, so from the Raw Roundup, which Weeds is so definitely looking forward to, we will have a Battleground prediction. So we'll be looking at the matches and giving our views on who we think the winners and the losers will be. And then last but not least, today, CM Punk did indeed confirm that he is done with the WWE. He's also been moved out of the current roster section on WWE.com. So, I mean, that's it. He's gone. As well.
Bye.
See ya. That sounded a bit too enthusiastic, but we'll talk about that as well. As usual, we'll have a few shout outs because you guys are going to be sending me through Twitter your shout outs, so we'll cover that as well. And then we'll have some cheap plugs from Reeds towards the end, like we always do. Okay, so WWE 2K15, Sting is 100% confirmed in this game. He was the face. His trailer was on Raw. What did you think of it?
I thought it was a brilliant trailer. It sounds like they're doing something again like they did last year with Warrior, isn't it? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but he is 100%. You have to pre-order the game to make sure you get is it the two versions of Sting that are in it?
Yeah, you get the two versions. You get the old school version with the blonde hair and the colourful face paint. I like to call it the franchise version of Sting because that's what he's sort of called, and the man called Sting. And as well, you get the Crow version, the one that hanged from the rafters, came down, beat the crap out of the NWO, and was the big part of the Monday Night Wars.
But the trailer itself, just going back to that was brilliant, wasn't it? I know I really enjoyed it. Everything from the Sting theme they did with the violins, and then the final reveal that the whole orchestra that they had there, all decked out in Sting masks. And Sting looked pretty good, didn't he? He looked really good shape.
Yeah, I thought he looked great, and I've said this on Twitter. I've said it in my trailer review as well, but that is how you promote the icon Sting. I mean, it's 53 seconds, and I think they've done a better job than TNA have done in the whole time that Sting was with that company. I think that trailer just is how you promote an icon, and WWE and 2K Games just did it perfect.
I was going to say, I'm sure we'll cover the game itself a lot more in the lead up to it, but they're being quite cagey with it at the moment, aren't they? There's not a lot of information. There's some details on some of the features that they're going to have, and how they improve the graphics and that kind of thing using the NBA engine. I think I read somewhere, but there's not a lot of actual gameplay or any gameplay, is there, whatsoever?
No, none at all at the moment. They're keeping the cards very close to their chest, but I can kind of understand it, because it's a big deal. It's a big change. This is really the first 2K game that we're actually going to get, if you think about it. 2K14 was still under that THQ banner. You had a lot of THQ guys that came across and worked on this, and I think now this is like full on 2K. And I think the promos. I think the promos and the promotional tool was there last year, like, because you had the Warrior trailer, but I think they stepped it up with the Sting trailer. I just thought it was great. I marked out, literally.
It was good to see it. Literally, it popped out of nowhere on Raw as well. I think they had a little build up, and then boom, the man, the myth, the legend, Sting. And I liked. Did you like all the tweets behind it with the date and the pictures coming out about a week before? All kind of interesting. Lots of people jumped on it quite quickly, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty. I thought it was pretty good. And do you know what the awkward bit is I think there is two reasons behind why Sting is being promoted around this time. I don't just think it is because of 2K15. Because I said that he was going to be promoting as well the Great American Bash DVD and Blu-ray, and I still stick with that he is, because I think him and Ric Flair, obviously Rick was on Raw as well, they're both in this DVD something chronic. They are in it a lot, and I think personally that is also a reason why these two are back, not just for 2K, but you know. That date thing added so much speculation. I mean, and even other WWE superstars were tweeting out that date. Former WWE superstars, the Honky Tonk Man did it. Sid did it. Well, it's questionable whether that is an official Sid account. I've looked into it. I still kind of possibly think it might be, but it was no way as clearly done as Sting's promotional piece. Sting's was like perfect, you know, the editing, everything looked good. Sid's was a bit of a knockoff job.
It's one thing we will say about WWE, and we don't always agree, do we, 100% with what they're doing, but when it comes to the way they promote and the amount of time and effort, that side of it, they always seem to do really well, don't they?
Yeah, I thought the Warrior trailer from last year was the best thing that they've done, and then they topped it off with this one. This one set the bar even higher. And I think as well, the fact that Sting has never really been featured in the WWE ever until like quite recently. We saw him on the network, but this is just a humongous selling point. If you wanted like a USP, this is the one. You know, it was quite exciting with the Warrior coming back, like God rest his soul, but Sting as well. It's a big deal.
It's like you say, hopefully it will open up to some dream matches. I think we all know which one I'm probably talking about next year. And they've always said, and well, it's been on the internet quite a lot, that if he was going to come back, he'd only come back for one match. But you know, he's been doing not a lot in TNA for the last few years, so he could at least have a little run, you'd hope, in WWE.
Yeah, and I mean as well, to think about it, really, in terms of the Undertaker and Sting, if you don't get that match, at least you can play it officially on the game this year, because you're going to get the actual Sting character and the Undertaker. So if worst comes to worst, just make an epic match on the game.
Well, that was quite interesting thing to kick us off. Something different for We Talk, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this before we went live, but if you guys want us to actually cover WWE 2K15 in more detail, because there's a lot to talk about, speculation about game modes, the roster, obviously got a roster video, go check that out, and there's plenty more things that we could be talking about, things that they can improve. Then, let us know if you would like maybe a We Talk special on just WWE 2K15. I mean, I obviously researched the game quite a lot. Weeds is the professor, so he researches everything. So we've got a lot to talk about.
Right, what's next? Set myself up there, haven't I?
It's challenge time.
Let me clear my voice.
Are you right?
I don't even know what that was.
I don't know what you had stuck in your throat, but please take it out.
It's still there.
Right. Okay, so your challenge is,
if I choose to accept it.
Well, yeah, if you choose to accept it, but if you don't, you're just a wimp. So, don't disappoint the masses, Weeds.
I'm all right with that.
Don't disappoint the millions.
And millions. Of Delzinski's fans.
And the occasional one for you as well.
And the occasional, yeah. You can mark up to that.
Look, okay, your challenge, if you are willing to accept it, is to perform a Raw Roundup in 60 seconds. 60
seconds. That's a 3-hour show in 60 seconds.
Yes, I have a stopwatch here already for you.
Of course you do.
I've already bypassed the fact that you're going to say no, so I've already assumed you're saying yes. So,
yeah, I'm not committing to 60 seconds though.
60 seconds. I will give you a gentle nudge when you get within 10 seconds of the time that you've got to finish up. So I'll maybe say Bagwell approved at the point that you need to start thinking of wrapping this shizzle up.
Not to go any kind of iron cheek on you, but that is bullshit, man.
Well, it may very well be. But you're going to do it. So,
thanks. Okay.
So, with that in mind, this is it. The Raw Roundup for this week, courtesy of the Professor, and I'll count you in. It starts in 3, 2, 1, go!
Show opens up with Cena. He's doing his normal thing, booing, shouting, all the normal things you get with Cena. Roman Reigns comes down. They have a bit of a set two in the ring, back and forth, cut backstage. Dean Ambrose completely wiped out by the Authority. The Authority not getting on later on in the show. Kane and Randy Orton. Where's that going? All ends with Roman Reigns with his hand in the air. Great bit with Swagger and Rusev. I don't know if you guys saw this, but yeah, that went back and forth really well. Actually, really good section they did in the show. Swagger not getting completely bulldozed by Rusev on this occasion, so it was good to see that that's actually might even get a wrestling match at the Battleground pay-per-view. AJ and Lee and Paige, just weird again. Chris Jericho didn't get his ass handed to him this week just by Bray Wyatt. Approved. Oh, and the Usos got completely wiped out by the Wyatt family, and there's a 20-man battle royal for the Intercontinental Championship, and there may be some other matches happening on Raw as well.
Well, did you have anything left to say, Weeds?
No, I'm done. I'm spent.
Pretty good.
Oh, believe he was there as well. The end.
And do you know what I believe you forgot?
What did I forget?
The bell.
Oh, the bell. Damn it.
Is that from like a little girl's bike or something?
No. Yes. there is someone going around London at the moment desperately trying to ring their bell at traffic, I'm sure, waving their fist in anger at any motorist going past them. And yeah, they're missing a bike bell because I've got it.
you teethed some little John Cena fan's bell.
Yeah, and also, the tassely bits you got on the back of your bike as well. I've got those as well.
Yes, I'm obviously thinking it's.
In fact,
it's a
if anyone
child.
wants a bike, I've got one for sale.
Your plug-in bit comes at the end of the show.
It's my eBay section.
Oh, really? Okay. Anyway, guys, enough with the bell. Look,
Bell's gone.
good. But it'll be back. It'll be back next week when Weeds then once again recaps Raw in 60 seconds. If you enjoyed Weeds recap, then obviously hit that like button and let us know if you want to hear another 60 seconds of Weeds, or if you want to cut the time down maybe to 30 seconds. Then we can try that next week as well.
Next time, I might try being a little bit more prepared rather than you springing it on me. But thank you very much for doing that.
That's no problem. I thought you did well.
Yeah. Oh, and Sheamus was there. I forgot about Sheamus, but that's understandable.
Oh, no.
I've just bashed Sheamus.
Oh, dear. Fella! Anyway, okay.
Oh, and Rob Van Dam lost again.
Hold on a minute. You can't keep adding stuff now. You had a minute.
Oh, well, I forgot about Rod Dan losing.
Who is Rod Dan?
I'm trying to go at 60 seconds.
Do you want to know what the best bit of the 60 seconds was? I think you said AJ and Lee.
No, AJ the Lee. Paige, that is just weird. It is weird again. But yeah, another week talk, another day.
When you said that, I was researching the roster. I was trying to look for these two people. I was like, well, who's AJ and Lee? I'm not sure who these are.
AJ the Lee.
Anyway, you've got another shot at it next week, so let's try again.
Might even get the whole thing in this time.
Excellent. Okay, so you've had your Raw Roundup. I think Weeds has covered it pretty well.
I think that might be one and done.
No. Next week. So let's talk Battleground. So the match card. What we'll do is we'll give our predictions as well of what we think or who we think the winners and the losers are going to be. So let's kick it off with the Divas match, or the two Divas matches that are on the cards. We've got one that I know that Weeds is very interested in, and it's Cameron versus Naomi.
Yeah.
You said you were interested before we came live.
Well, the Funkadactyls have imploded, haven't they?
Well, but they're missing their baby Brodus. Yeah.
Well, with that in mind, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't care who wins one way or the other. Do you? You got a favourite in this one? You got a horse you're backing?
I still don't know which one's Cameron and which one's Naomi.
Oh my God! Yeah, neither do I. But
no, to be honest, I think they're trying to drive a wedge here because they know they've got to split them up. Obviously,
they're split.
Brodus gone.
Well and truly split. They're coming out in more revealing outfits than they normally do, and yeah, it's. It could have happened, but I'd rather the full attention of the Divas at the moment is on AJ and Paige. It's a lot more better time could be spent there, particularly the angle they have picked for AJ and Lee and Paige at the moment.
I'd kind of like if they actually kept them together, Cameron and Naomi, and then brought back the cat Ernest Miller. Remember him? I'm the greatest!
He was the greatest, wasn't he? I don't actually remember him wrestling.
I'm the greatest. He was the best talker on the mic. He was freaking awesome. I'm the greatest.
So have we actually come up with a result for Cameron versus Naomi? Because
I was too busy thinking about the cat.
I'm going to go Cameron, and you can probably go Naomi, and one of us will be right.
Yeah, I'll go with Naomi. Naomi's going to win this one. Anyway, next one.
It's nailed on, isn't it? It's nailed on.
Let's talk about one that we all have our opinions on, and it is the Women's Championship, or the Divas Championship, as they like to call it. It's AJ and Lee versus Paige. So, who do you think's going to win this one? Because this is one creepy ass storyline.
It is a little bit strange with the mutual admiration society going on between the pair, which even got weirder on Raw this week with AJ Lee winning her match, then having a chat with Paige over JBL's headset while sitting on the Raw desk. I'm probably, if I had to pick, I'd probably go AJ Lee for this one again to retain, but for this feud to actually pick up.
Yeah, I'll probably go with AJ and Lee, to be honest. The reason being because it's 2 versus 1. No, I'm going to go with AJ Lee because I think that this feud's got a way to go, and I can't see AJ dropping the title so quickly unless unless WWE have gone down that route of back and forth. But that'd be a bit annoying. I don't really like that as well when they do title reign switching after back and forth. It demorals a championship reign. So yeah, AJ's my pick as well.
It'll be interesting because I think, like we've said before, we expect these two to be at the forefront of what they do for the Divas for the next few years, or at least the next year or so. So I'm fully expecting this to develop into something bigger.
Yep. So let's move on and let's talk about as well the tag team match for the tag team titles. It is the Usos versus the Wyatt family, Eric Ryan, Luke Harper. I actually think that the Wyatts are going to win this one because they didn't win last time round.
Well, it's 2 out of 3 falls this time, isn't it, for the tag team championships? I'm kind of coming down on your side with this because it's been, how long have the Wyatts been in the WWE now? It's been over a year, and none of them have seen any gold. And I think we were talking about this last week on We Talk. It's about time they've actually won something. So I'm fully expecting the Wyatts to go over here as well. They have looked quite menacing. They absolutely obliterated the Usos on Raw on Monday. So yeah, I see a Wyatt win for this one.
Yep, I am going to 100% agree with you on that one. I think the Usos have held the belts for quite a while, and nothing's... Although I was excited when they did win the belts, nothing's really come of it. I mean, this is probably a good feud that they've had, but I think it's time for a title change when it comes to the tag belts.
Need some more tag teams in there as well. Hopefully the Ascension will be coming up at some point in the next 6 months to a year. Yeah, it's something they need to build a lot more because, I don't know, you still buying Ryback?
No.
I know they're one of your favourites.
Wasn't buying them in the first place. I'd bring back Demolition as well.
That may prove difficult.
Oh yeah. Well, I still love Demolition. They're one of my favourite tag teams.
They were good. They were good.
Here comes the Smasher. Here comes the Axe. Remember that?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, fine then. Screw you then. Okay, so obviously we've covered that match. Let's talk about
the Battle Royal.
You want to talk about the Battle Royal?
Yeah, the Battle Royal.
All right then. Who do you want to win the 20-man Battle Royal for the WWE Intercontinental Championship?
Well, we've been through it slightly before, and I think, did you say Sheamus before?
I said Sheamus or Cesaro.
I think we picked at least 5 or 6 out of the 20-man Battle Royal, both of us, to win at some point. Cesaro's kind of stalled, hasn't he, over the last few weeks? And it's been odd. There's been another odd one as well on Raw recently between Ziggler and Fandango, especially them both dancing around trying to get Summer Rae. And I can't remember the other girl's name. Someone put it in the comments because I can't remember it for the life of me at the moment. So maybe, what do you think about throwing Ziggler in there? Because it's been a while since he had that, 6-week title reign?
Nah.
Okay, The Miz?
Nah.
Bo Dallas?
Oh, maybe.
Ooh, believe. Are you a believer?
I'm beginning to become one, yes. I sort of think that either way, whoever's going to win this, I've got a bit of a feeling that... Because Barrett said he's going to be there, didn't he? He's tweeted, I think he tweeted either today or the other day that he will be there to present whoever wins this with the Intercontinental Championship.
I think it's important that he stays relevant because the whole build-up they did when he actually won the belt, I thought was one of the best things they've done on Raw with that mini 8-man tournament earlier on in the year where he culminated in actually winning the belt. So yeah, I think it's important for him to be there, and it sounds like he's going to be out for a while again, but hopefully we'll see him back. The other one who's had quite a good run at the moment is Alberto Del Rio.
Sorry.
No, you go for it. he's winning every week on Raw at the moment. Cesaro, question mark, isn't he? Because he's kind of been forgotten, so much so that I'm sure this was done completely intentionally. Paul Heyman did not come out with him this week on Raw. Where's that going with Cesaro?
I don't know. I don't know what
they've
they're
even
doing
given him
with
knee pads. They've given him knee pads.
It's
just changed.
Yeah, that you sum it up perfectly. They just changed him, and
I told you they would do this. They say something that's popular, get their claws in, they alter it, and it's not working, is it?
But this is like everything. It's a bit like Daniel Bryan. They it was all good before they start pushing him. Whenever they start getting behind him and that promotional machine gets going, everyone just like, it gets a bit lame now. You've changed him slightly. We don't like it so much now.
So this is a little note, I suppose, from We Talk, isn't it, to WWE, is please don't ruin Roman Reigns. We like him just how he is.
Listen,
just leave him.
Yeah, listen to the fans. You know, when the fans are behind them, that doesn't mean that you have to go full face or full heel. You just let them go. So
who's going to win?
I'm still going to go with Sheamus. I think he's going to unify the belts. And then Barrett will obviously come out and present him with it, and Summit will probably go down, and that will kickstart the feud.
It's going to be really boring, but I'm inclined to agree with you now with Sheamus, because I would like to see some kind of unification. If they don't do it here, I'd like to see someone like Alberto Del Rio or Dolph Ziggler, someone who could actually have a decent match with Sheamus, maybe at SummerSlam, and then unify the belts there.
One last note on the Battle Royal. Could very well see Bo Dallas picking up the belt because they are pushing him quite hard as well.
Yeah, he's always that second to last match from the main event at the moment. I feel a little bit sorry because that's normally when everyone goes to get a beer.
Well,
which when I go to get a beer anyway.
When you do, and then fall asleep at the event as well. But we won't talk about that.
It never happened. That was TNA. You can't blame me. Come on.
I like TNA. Shh. Right, so we've almost predicted everybody apart from the Great Khali to win the Battle Royal. So let's have a look at Swagger versus Rusev, and I know you've been quite enjoying the storyline between these two.
It was great. It was good on Raw this week. It was one of the really good moments, I thought, when they had first of all Lana and Zeb in the ring. It was great. One of the main things I love about America is just how proud they are of their country. And again, Zeb Coulter with the Real Americans has been, bashing everything about America for the last year. But, an actual storyline, every one of those Americans in, it was Virginia this week, completely behind anything. And I love that. We need a bit of that in the UK sometimes, I think. So anyway, that's my little nationalistic rant. Go USA. But yeah, it was a good angle. I did like Swagger and Rusev, and it wasn't Rusev just beating the shit out of someone for once. It went back and forth, and yeah, he looked like he had Swagger, and I was like, oh great, same old crap again. But then Swagger put him in the ankle lock, and Rusev literally had to claw his way out of the ring and scampered off up the ramp. So I'll let you go first with a winner. Rusev, I'm inclined to agree. I'd like them to do something with Swagger, especially as he's still got Uncle Zeb with him. But I'll come down on the Rusev side.
Yes. And you know why? Because it's going to be Rusev, all the way up till probably WrestleMania, and then
Survivor Series.
No. Then Kurt Angle is coming back and beating him.
Well, that's interesting you say that. 'Cause again, we know I like a podcast, and I was listening to Jim Ross's this week, and Mr. Angle has been on there the last couple of weeks on the Ross Report, and he has not been very definitive whether or not he's staying with TNA or not, to the point where Jim Ross quite openly asked him when his contract expired, and Angle just shot back September 21st. Oh. I expect to be back wrestling, he said, hopefully by October. Read into that what you will, We Talk listeners. But we'd like Angle back, wouldn't we?
Yeah, because I think TNA have let the ball go with him, and I think he's coming to terms with that. He's towards the end of his career, and he wants that one final run. So
exactly what he said, and he said he's had good matches at TNA, and I always remember when he went in with the Joe feud, which was that was insane with the headbutt and split him wide open, didn't it? It was. Mm-hmm. That's probably. Would you say that was Angle's? I'm not going to say that his TNA career was rubbish, because I don't think it was, but I think that was probably the highlight with that Angle Joe feud when he first went in. I thought that was probably the feud of the year for me that year.
Yeah.
It's WWE.
Yeah, main event Mafia. He had a few other little runs which were good, but I mean, recently it's been a bit like Sting, sort of, filtered out, and I think it's about time WWE picked him up and did what they did with, brought someone back like Van Dam, proper hyped him up, brought Sting in, hyped him up, and I think it would be electric if they could possibly have Angle back, and I would be tempted for a Lesnar Angle one more time.
Proper wrestling. It sounds like we're going to be getting quite a lot of Lesnar. Hopefully, I'd like to see him back on Raw regularly, but we shall see, won't we? So, who's up next?
Well, we're getting closer.
Do you want to go Wyatt, or do you want to go Ambrose Rollins?
Let's go with Ambrose and Rollins. But just to check, is Seth Rollins fit and well?
Well, he seemed to really. I should have covered this in the Raw Roundup in 60 seconds.
60 seconds.
A lot to cover. He took another high spot. He takes far too many. I'm not saying I don't enjoy a Seth Rollins high spot, but he took another one and he landed. I think it was like a clothesline by. I can't even remember it. It might have been Reigns. Of all people, it was Reigns. Sent him over and he just jarred his knee. He had the trainers out straight away and it looked a little bit worrying. So I'm hoping, because obviously little Seth is getting a great push at the moment and deservedly slow. But so shut up. But yeah, he did look like he landed a little bit awkwardly, but I'm going to go on him and I think he's okay.
Well, if he is okay and he's fighting fit, I do believe that Seth Rollins will win this match.
Does it damage Ambrose if Ambrose comes out of this as a loser?
Yes, but I do think that it's what's best for business if Seth Rollins wins, because on the pure basis that I think that he is the guy that they wanted to push. If he loses to Ambrose, actually, I think it might be a bit of a fudgy finish, to be honest. I reckon that possibly Ambrose could win via disqualification, or Rollins will get himself deliberately counted out, disqualified, or these guys might just go fighting into the arena, out in the fans, and we actually get a no contest.
Maybe, yeah, because I'm kind of thinking the same thing, but I'm kind of thinking that might happen in another match on this card. But Ambrose, I think maybe if the knee thing was a work and he isn't, they just got the trainers out for whatever reason, maybe work that in so that you don't actually get a finish between these two and build it up through into SummerSlam. Because I wouldn't like to see Ambrose, because he's getting the crap kicked out of him every week at the moment. And again, maybe that was the storyline to do that in going into Raw, with Ambrose being obviously taken out, was meant to be a 6-man main event, which turned into a handicap match. But I'm inclined to go Rollins, but I would like to see some kind of, Ambrose can't compete kind of finish, because I think it's important that he doesn't just, submit or give up to Seth on the first go, because he hasn't really got any retribution and revenge back on this guy whatsoever for stabbing the Shield in the back.
Nope, and Roman Reigns is off partying with the big boys.
He doesn't even care, does he?
No, he really doesn't. And that brings us on nicely to the. Oh no! We've got. Well, actually,
don't forget.
To be honest.
Quiet.
Yeah. To be honest, that's more of an enjoyable main event. To be honest, if we classed Bray Wyatt versus Jericho as our main event, because I actually do think it is.
This is where I think we'll get the no finish.
What, Bray and Jericho?
Yeah, I can't. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say this is going to be the no finish, the brawl into the crowd, where they can't be separated. Obviously, they both come, gone over on each week on Raw, where Jericho's been wiped out, then he's outsmarted them. I want this to continue. And to be honest with you, I'm assuming Bray Wyatt's going to come out on top at some point, but I don't want it to be, Bray Wyatt, Battleground. Yeah, of course he's going to come out on top. This needs to continue. It needs to become a bigger feud. Kind of what never really happened between Wyatt and Cena. And the only difference with Wyatt and Cena is they put him in a cage at some point, and then Cena became Super Cena, got screwed over to be beaten, obviously, by a child. Not beaten by a child, you know what I mean, before you start.
Kind of could happen.
But do you know it needs to get some kind of extreme kind of finish, I think, between Wyatt and Jericho, maybe at SummerSlam. But we shall see. Yeah, so this is the one I'm expecting to go to kind of a no contest.
Yeah, and I think this is the one, like I said, that personally a lot of people are looking forward to watching, and I'd probably say that it could very well be that main event style match, considering that the main event is a bit of a, bit of a mishmash of people. I'm gonna go with an actual Jericho win.
The Jericho win.
Yeah, I'm gonna go against the grain. Because I think it would be a good start for the feud if Jericho won this, and wouldn't, because Jericho's come back, and Jericho comes back, and he's always just a feeder for everyone else. He freaking, fandangoed, all that sort of stuff. I'd like Jericho to start off strong and then possibly fall down as it goes on longer and longer, up to SummerSlam, where Bray's worn him down so much that it's just, look, I can't take this anymore, and then Bray puts him out with his sister Abigail. Good night, feud over, bye-bye, and then Bray can go on to bigger and better things. But meanwhile, Chris Jericho is left, in a stage where he hasn't lost any credibility because he won the first match, and also he's had a hell of a feud with one of the youngest upcoming talent.
The only other thing that might do, if Jericho wins, it gives you a kind of an indication, perhaps, how long he's going to be back for as well. Because at the moment they're saying he's going to go and work through SummerSlam and maybe the one pay-per-view after. And to be honest, what's this? Is this his third or fourth stint back with the WWE? I can't remember exactly. But I'd like to see him go all the way through to WrestleMania, to be honest. I'd like him to be back. It sounds like he's doing every possible program from main event and SmackDown to Raw every week. So yeah, it'd be good to see him back regularly.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So go on then.
Right.
The main event, if you want to call it that. Where's this one going?
John Cena! He's going to win this.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon too.
What do you think?
Well, it's a fatal four-way match, isn't it? So obviously it's a 1 in 4 chance that John Cena will win. You seem to be speculating that he's got some odds in his favour.
He's Superman.
I have seen your video. I've seen the backflips. I'm inclined to agree he will come out on top in this match. Now, I don't know if you've thought this already. Are you expecting something to happen after the match? Especially with plan B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
Cash it in, 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 cash it in. Do you like that?
Are you expecting perhaps a big lumbering Hulk from Minnesota to turn up with a little walrus in tow?
I think what would be very good is if indeed Seth Rollins tries to cash it in, and then it doesn't work, and Dean Ambrose comes out again and scares the shit out of Seth Rollins. He piddles off somewhere, and then we hear the Freaks music play. The one that conquered the streak and comes out and F5!
The 1 in 21.
Yes, and he breaks John Cena. Or should I say, he's broken in half.
The guy that's been in hibernation since WrestleMania.
Well, he's got to come out at some point. He is a beast. He's a freak. And he's a conqueror.
I don't think Brock has internet or a mobile phone. Because you would think he would have turned up at some point.
I personally know that he does because he listens to We Talk.
Does he?
Yeah.
You better watch out. He couldn't take Bagwell, though. No one can take Bagwell.
No one can take Bagwell. He's Canadian Destroyer. Bagwell approved. Job done.
Lesnar should try that move.
Like the moonsault. No, shooting star press. No. Shooting star press, wasn't it?
Yeah. What did he land on his head?
He was so out of it.
He won though.
It was so good though. He's like
Kurt had to pin himself, but he won.
It was freaking awesome. How did I get that wrong? Why did I say moonsault? Dang it!
Maybe that's what he was trying, and he turned it into a shooting star.
Quite possibly, he did try that. Actually, now I think of it, yeah, possibly that's why it went wrong.
So back to the main event. We're both going Cena, aren't we?
Yeah, it's impossible for.
Is it not Kane's turn?
Fuck off. No. And it's definitely not.
Viper.
It's not the Viper's turn either. And I would love it to be Roman Reigns, but I think he needs a more significant run as opposed to being a feeder to the Conqueror, Brock Lesnar.
Well, I think we've covered quite a lot there, haven't we?
I know. We've covered a hell of a lot. So, guys, I mean, let us know what your predictions are going to be, because you probably completely disagree with us, but it'd be great to hear your views of what you think is going to go down at WWE Battleground.
We normally get it wrong, don't we?
Yes. So Lesnar probably won't show up. John Cena will drop the bell. Cameron and Naomi will be the best match on the card. Bray Wyatt and Chris Jericho won't be a non-contest. The Usos will probably retain. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins probably won't even show up. And Jack Swagger and Rusev will end up making friends and having a quiet drink together. So, I mean, and the Battle Royal, well, God knows what'll happen there.
Let's scrap it.
Yeah, your way back comes out. I'm fit. I can wrestle. Don't worry. I'm here.
Bring on the Great Khali. That's where the Great Khali fits in. Barrett versus Khali.
Do you like that?
It's right up there with your Donald Duck does Sting.
This has been a jam-packed show full of impressions. How many? I've done this one. What else have I done? Did something else earlier. Can't even remember. It was good though. I remember it being good. Just shut that fucking bell up. Right, anyway, look, this is a long wee talk, man.
This is a long wee talk.
It is a long wee talk, but anyway, make the most of it. Listen to it when you get up for breakfast, listen to it in the evening, listen to it when you're with your girlfriend, I don't know, all sorts of stuff going on.
I don't know if we can have that kind of responsibility with girlfriends. Maybe on the way to school, the way home from school, to work. But I don't want to interfere or impinge on that kind of personal time. I'm not responsible. I'm not comfortable with that.
You don't want to impinge?
Impinge, you know. I'm like a little walking thesaurus here.
Yeah, I know. The innovator of words as well. Okay,
yeah,
so...
Bite today, eat your heart out.
Professor. Last but not least, we'll cover it briefly. Because I think we've talked about it a lot, and I mean, if we are going to talk about this in depth, I think it deserves a wee talk of its own. Is ta-ta for now to CM Punk, because CM Punk went on Twitter today and he did put a tweet. I think someone asked him the question about will he be returning to the WWE. He replied nope, and then he went on to say thank you. Thanks to all the fans for their help and support through the years. Health and happiness above all. Don't ever take any shit from anybody. So maybe a little bit bitter there, or maybe just saying, look, I'm sticking it to the man and I'm going. He also tweeted out, I think it was during the beginning of this week, he went on to say as well that he'd be looking at doing 3 things, which were, and 2 of them are true, and that would be having a podcast, making a band, and setting a fire. So, I mean, yeah, I don't think...
Start with the fire.
Yeah, I don't think arson's on the cards. So, you know, it sounds like he's done, and WWE have removed him as well. Bye-bye Punk. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you say, we want to cover this in a special. So again, let us know if you're interested in hearing our views on Punk. We've had quite a few on We Talk before, haven't we? But yeah, it doesn't sit well with me as a fan. I feel like he's turned his back on us. We're mainly the reason, other than, you know, his skill, that he got as far as he did in the WWE. So it is disappointing that it does look like he has gone now. But yeah, I don't wish him any ill will. If it was that important to him, and that he wanted to make sure that he was used in the right way, or maybe he was just completely beat up, that's fair enough. But for me, he's gone in his absolute peak, and he won't be regarded, like we were saying before we came on air, in the kind of the HBK kind of stratosphere. Because for me, don't know about you, Delzinski, he didn't do enough.
No, and I think just to point out to everybody that you,
we like him.
Well, no, I think particularly yourself, Weeds, you're a huge fan of him. You've bought his DVDs. You've researched Punk a lot. You know,
I have his t-shirts.
So I mean, that's coming from a proper fan. That's not just taking a dig at CM Punk or saying, you know, it's, you know, just complaining or it's disappointing. I think that's a genuine opinion. Is, you know, his principles, okay, possibly sticking too much to the man, but I sort of think as well, as you said, to be classed as a great, you have to be someone like a Shawn Michaels who's willing to come back. I mean, Shawn Michaels' last few runs in the WWE were not huge title reign runs. They were just being epic. Shawn Michaels puts on hell of a matches. I don't ever think Punk's ever felt satisfied with just putting on great matches. He always wants to be the centre of attention, and that's not always the way things work. Albeit,
I honestly thought it was heading back towards him. By the time we got to SummerSlam, he would have been in the title picture and probably the champion coming out. I just don't think he just didn't seem comfortable with what they wanted to do with him during that time, did he?
No, and I mean, maybe he did decide to walk away too soon, but we will never know. And it sounds like the WWE, for me, in my opinion, I think the WWE did the right thing. They just they rolled with a punch, and they decided to say, okay, you want to leave, we'll pick up the ball, but if you've chosen to be gone, then we will move on. And that's exactly what they've done, because they brought in the likes of the Shield as proper now individuals. They've built on them, the Daniel Bryan movement. And, I genuinely think that WWE have decided to show that it's not as big a deal as a lot of people thought it would be.
They've shown again how easy it is for them. If they want to put someone across like Roman Reigns or Daniel Bryan, they can. For me, what it goes back to was after Mania 29 when he fought the Undertaker. He wanted time off. He should have taken the time off then. I think he took about 6 weeks and came back and fought Jericho. If it wasn't the next pay-per-view, it was the one after. That's where he should have taken 6 months. For me, come back around Survivor Series, Royal Rumble. It would have been awesome for him to come back rested, ready to go. He let his body get too far beat up, and yeah, you could see he was done. But it's just disappointing, because for me, he's in his absolute peak, and he on his day when he felt like doing it, he could be the best in the world, and it's just disappointing, I suppose, that we're not going to see that anymore.
Yeah, I think you completely sum it up. I don't think there's a lot more to say on it, and if we did want to talk about this in depth, then it would be a long We Talk. And guys, if you want to hear us talk more about CM Punk, I mean, our feelings, our views of how we think the WWE got on, what we think is best for CM Punk, was it the right move to walk away, then let us know via the comments box below, and we will indeed cover it in depth. Now, we got the last segment. It's been a long old We Talk, but hopefully you guys enjoy this, so you guys will enjoy listening to this long old We Talk. Every week now, every Wednesday, because it is We Talk Wednesday, so we will be doing We Talks on a Wednesday. I will be putting out early UK time in the morning for you guys to give me your names with the hashtag Bagwell Approved, and you will get a shout out on our show. So with that in mind, I have a few shout outs. We've done this in previous weeks, and we had a bit of a discussion how you pronounce this last name, but I think I've got it right now. So I'm going to try my best. It's Ethan Keogh, I think it
like
is.
Like the beer.
Yes.
That's the nearest thing you could have, give it association to. So I think you're correct, Delzinski.
Typical you to relate it to beer. But yes, Ethan Keogh, you are hashtag Bagwell Approved. And then we've got a Twitter name. It's JPAO Faction, and you are most definitely Bagwell Approved. And then last but not least, I like this surname. It is epic because it is the last surname which Rhino had as a finishing move. It's Gore! And that is Jim Gore, and he is most definitely Bagwell Approved. Jim, thanks for watching our videos as well. I know you watch them a lot, so that is great. And guys, if you want to be shouted out, if you want to be Bagwell Approved, all you got to do is drop me a tweet, follow me at Delzinski, and send me a tweet with the hashtag Bagwell Approved and your full name or your Twitter name, whatever you want to do, and I will give you a shout out on the show. How's that?
That is a lot that we've covered today. So yeah, I was going to say that's all from me. I would like to say, as per usual, I have absolutely nothing to plug. As one of your YouTubers suggested, Delzinski, Professor Weeds is running wireless. So yeah, until next time, see you later, guys, and enjoy Battleground.
Yes, indeed, Weeds. I've actually got something to plug today.
No way.
I have, actually. If you haven't seen it, I've got a promo on my channel. and it is presenting my CAW Dashing Delzinski, and he is indeed in the Royal Rumble. Yes, the Fam Royal Rumble. It is a huge event that is going to happen on the 26th of July. Loads of YouTubers involved with custom promos. There's a Royal Rumble match, obviously. It's a 40-man Royal Rumble, which obviously there is only one competitor that is indeed Bagwell approved, and that is yourself, Dashing Delzinski.
Surely he must be favourite going in.
I bloody hope so, because I don't know what they've done with him, but I'm sure as hell hoping that I'll win it. So yeah, check that out. I'll leave a link in the description box below to my promo and fams channel, so you can head over there and watch it. It's on a Saturday, so I mean, get the beers in and have a good one. I think it's going to be like a 2-hour show or something, so it's a big deal, and it's taken, I think, almost a year to build and make using WWE 2K14. So I mean, a lot of effort has gone into this. A lot of YouTubers are involved. WWE Games ones. It's a big deal. So go and check it out. Show him some support. And I mean, I think I've probably plugged a lot more than you have in any other show, to be honest, today, Weeds. But that is it. I am done. So from Weeds, say goodnight.
Until next time, guys. See you soon.
Yes, and stay Bagwell approved. This is Delzinski, as always, signing out.